battleship is a large armored warship with the main battery consisting of large caliber guns. During the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the battleship was the most powerful type of warship. Hundreds of feet in length and displacing tens of thousands of tons, their size allowed them to carry the largest guns and the thickest armor. In this video, we have selected and ranked them according to displacement of all time. So without further delay, let's dive right in. The Richelieu class. The Richelieu class were fast battleships built for the French Navy between the 1930s and 1950s. The Jean-Bart ship of the Richelieu class ship displays 37,250 long tons standard, 48,180 long tons fully loaded, and 813 feet long overall. Initially, two ships were ordered in 1935 in response to Italian orders for the Littorio class battleships the previous year. The Richelieu class were based on the preceding Dunkirk class but scaled up to accommodate more than 15-inch guns and armor to protect them from guns of the same caliber. To keep the ships within the displacement limits imposed by the Washington Naval Treaty, they featured the same concentrated arrangement of the Dunkirk for the main battery, two quadruple gun turrets placed forward. Number 4 on our list is represented by HMS Vanguard, the last battleship of the Royal Navy as well as the last battleship to ever be launched. Fast, well-armed, and extremely well-protected, Vanguard is easily one of the best battleships ever to sail the sea. Knowing the threat of the newest German and Japanese battleships, the Royal Navy had already designed the powerful Line-class battleships. However, it soon became apparent that they could not be launched in time, leaving the Royal Navy at a disadvantage. It was decided to take a modified Line-class hull and equip it with leftover 15-inch guns from the World War I to produce a battleship that would be available sooner. However, the ship would not be completed until after World War II due to revised designs and the shuffling of material elsewhere. HMS Vanguard has a full load displacement of 51,420 long tons. Coming in at third place, we have the Bismarck-class battleships of the German Kriegsmarine. However, it's not the famous Bismarck that represents the class but her sister Tirpitz. Modification made to her during the war increased her displacement until she became the largest battleship used by a European country. Throughout the 1930s, the German Navy had examined several battleship designs that remained within treaty limits. Two ships were built, Bismarck and Tirpitz, featuring 8 15-inch guns and exceptionally strong armor. They were the most powerful battleships in Europe at the time of their launch. Though Bismarck was lost early in the war, Tirpitz soldiered on as a fleet in being, quietly spending her time in Norway. The overall length of Tirpitz class was 823.6 feet and a full load displacement of 51,800 long tons. Up next is the Iowa class. The last battleships completed by the United States Navy, the Iowa-class battleships were larger, faster, and more heavily armored than all previous U.S. dreadnoughts. Their impressive displacement nets them the second-place spot on our list. Designed to counter the fast battleships of the Japanese Kongo class, the Iowa class were designed with an emphasis on high speeds in addition to armor and firepower. The Iowa class needed to be larger in order to accommodate the huge power plant and greater freeboard. Armor was similar to the preceding South Dakota class, though the firepower was enhanced through the use of 9 16-inch 50 caliber guns, a more powerful model compared to those aboard the earlier dreadnoughts. Designed for a standard displacement of 45,000 long tons, as time went on the ships got even heavier due to more weaponry and electronics. Eventually their displacement grew to over 57 long tons. Iowa class are known for their long service lives. The ship served on and off until the early 1990s, well past the age of the battleship. Finally, at number 1. This position is filled by the battleships that remain the largest of their type, the mighty Yamato class. Being the battleships that were designed to be larger and more powerful than any other, it should come as no surprise that the Yamato class reigned supreme as the largest battleships ever built. These Leviathans were designed to outgun and outlast all the other competition. To do this, they carried 9 massive 18.1-inch guns. Only 2 battleships of this class, Yamato and Musashi, were completed. A third ship, Shinano, was later completed as an aircraft carrier, and like her sisters, she was also the largest of her kind and was not surpassed until the supercarriers first arrived years later. With a full load displacement equal to that of 2 treaty battleships, the Japanese Navy made no attempt to abide by the rules, producing a battleship that certainly will never be surpassed in size. So this is it for today, guys. That was the top 10 biggest battleships of all time. Thank you so much for viewing, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye bye.